I really suffered culture shock when I moved here because it's so different.
I know that it can be difficult, the Danes can be difficult to integrate with, and I just thought that it would be nice to help another person.
When I moved to Denmark, I was a little bit lost. It was like things that work in the UK doesn't work in Denmark.
I really want to help people, and I feel this is a field within I can make a big change for them.
Copenhagen Host Program is a program where we match newcomers with volunteer Danes.
One of my main goals for the city of Copenhagen is to create a city that is open and inclusive, and where you can easily become a new Copenhagener, and that is why I really love that program.
Most newcomers that we get in the program, they are interested in getting to know the job market, how does it work, how do I apply, and also just to get to know Danes, because it can be quite difficult to get to know Danes. A lot of our newcomers in the program also want to practice Danish with a Dane.
Foreningen Nydansker goes through all the different host profiles and finds the right match.
Francesca and I have a lot in common and can also learn a lot from each other.
It was a bit like having, an instant friend.
Arrivals have a wide variety of things that they can gain from this program, depending on if they want a culture host or a career host. The people who want a career host usually get advice on how to apply for jobs here in Denmark within their field.
He came to my company in Allerød, just outside Copenhagen, and
we discussed the basic things: what do I expect, what he expects, and so we make an agenda of what we want to do.
He wasn't sure of what he was looking for in terms of job. He was just really just firing applications away in every direction, and we sort of narrowed it in.
So it's not only just discussing about how to find a job, and it's also discussing about how your career can go, and by discussing with a more experienced person, that will give you more ideas and knowledge about the view of your career.
Through my job, where I travel around the world, I learned that there's a lot of angles to how you see a society and people, which is something that is accepted in one part of in the world is absolutely a no-go in other parts of the world.
I like people who are into what they're doing. And so I thought, okay, he should be the perfect host for myself.
I got some new perspective on Danish behavior, and that's an eye-opener.
The newcomers who get a culture host, they'll be matched up with someone who has the same hobbies and interests as them.
We met at Torvehallen, which is the market here, so we both really enjoy food and cooking and eating and things like that. So I thought that would be a good place to meet, and we had some bubbles Friday afternoon, so that's also a good way to start.
We were lucky in that there was a connection. We immediately had enough to talk about.
I mean, I can help Francesca out with stuff here and explain why do we do that, and point her to all the cool places.
Well, I think it would have taken me a good 6 to 12 months to find all the restaurants and cool bars and stuff that Natasha introduced me to in a second.
She can contribute just as much to me with her background and her knowledge and her interests and everything. I know that there's a lot of things and a lot of questions and a lot of why are people doing this, or why are they queuing up in the line when you bike, and I mean there's a lot of questions that you have and maybe curiosities.
You can't read a newspaper, you can't do your shopping without Google Translate. You can't ring up and talk to the electricity people without trying 3 times because you don't know what truc it's the most frustrating experience in the world. So just having somebody to say, can you read this letter for me? Can you help me? Or where should I go for this? Or where should I go for that? Just to, I think, an instant friend to help me integrate into Danish society better.
I think it's very important that we have an international culture, because we know that it is important for our companies. We know that it is important for the city's development and for our economy and for our opportunities to make new jobs. So I hope it will stay, be as sustainable, and that it will develop and be bigger, because I think that the need is there.
I would say Copenhagen Host Program is a really helpful tool for people who like to integrate into the society, to get guidance with your career or with the culture, and also to meet interesting new people.
For me, that's a friendship that's been established, so I don't think we'll lose touch.
The host program and everything else that's on offer for foreigners at International House is beyond my expectations, and I've moved around to various different places, and I haven't seen anything so easily available.
I can only recommend this to everyone. Really try it, go into it.
No, some of the most surprising things about the program is that it takes very little guidance to make a big difference.
I'd just say go for it, because it's a fantastic leg up into Danish society. It's a way in.
In a scale of 1 to 10, it's definitely 10.